for you. I've been away, so this is the first video I'm doing when I got back off holiday, and these are the videos I'm filming today are the book reviews of the books I read while I was away. So the first video I have for you today is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. I got this from the library, and I loved it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars just because it didn't really blow me away, and I had a bit of difficulty getting into the world because it does have a glossary and a diagram at the front of all the types of clairvoyance, but it doesn't quite explain everything very well, and there's still some words that I don't know what they mean that she uses, and I just don't... yeah, there's just a lot of it that I was just really confused about and had to Google some, and there is a wikia for this, the Bone Season wikia, and I did use that quite a lot to figure out what the different types of clairvoyance are. So this is a story about a girl named Paige who is a clairvoyant in a world where clairvoyants are banned. It sort of has an alternate history thing where in the 1800s, London was taken over by something called the Scion, which outlawed clairvoyance, and one of the kings, King Edward I think, is accused of being Jack the Ripper and being a clairvoyant, so they decide to outlaw this and all clairvoyants are executed. It's a very different world to anything I've ever read before. I've heard a lot of people saying it's not original, but I really do think it's an original story. I've never read anything with clairvoyance really before, and I did like the idea of it. And our main character is a bit different because she's a dream walker, which is a very rare type of clairvoyant. She can theoretically go into people's minds and possess them, but she doesn't quite have that power yet. And at the beginning of the book, she gets captured by the Scion and sent to a city that she thought didn't exist anymore, of Oxford. And this is her story trying to figure out what's going on in Oxford, figure out the Scion, and sort of escape and figure out the world. It's really, really good. I really recommend it. I think it is a bit hard to understand, and I read it in one sitting because I had an 8-hour car journey, so I just kind of sat and read it for the whole time I was driving. We were driving, and I really think it was good that way because I really immersed myself into the book, and I read it just so quickly, and I think that was really good for this book because I think if I'd read it like 50 pages at a time, I would have got so confused about everything, whereas we're reading it all in one sitting. If there was a word I didn't understand, I just kind of skipped over it and it wasn't a big deal. None of the things that I didn't understand were a big deal to the plot. Like, I understood everything that mattered to the plot, and that's really important. I do think I will continue on with the Mime Order, which is the second book in this series, but I'm not sure whether I don't want to commit to a 7-book series. I think the cast of characters that are introduced in this are really, really good. The romantic interest is really good because it doesn't take over the story. The story is still about Paige and her clairvoyancy and the city of Oxford, and it's really just about that, and the romance is sort of very side story, and it happens slowly and naturally, I think, and I really like that about this. So that was my review of The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.